Lunch Bunch, welcome back to my channel, or if you want to be a member of the Lunch Bunch, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. That way you can join the group. So today on Cristin Eats, I am having McAlister's Deli. I have not eaten here in a long time, so I ordered my favorite thing, and I'm very excited for it. I got their chicken Caesar salad wrap and an order of their macaroni and cheese. I'm a little bit worried what this is going to look like on the inside because when I was carrying the bag out, the whole thing just like flipped up. So it was like sideways. So, oh good. It's all okay. I thought they were just going to be like mac and cheese, like, you know, like a scoop of it in here. But it's like in styrofoam. Apparently they know these things flip upside down. So we're good. And then we have the, let's get rid of this box here. Nobody needs you. Go away. So I have the chicken Caesar salad wrap. So good. I love these. This one's coming undone a little bit. I was surprised with how busy they were today. McAlister's, when I used to go there a lot more, granted, I used to go there a lot more like 5 years ago. They were never really that busy. Like, they always had people. They were steady, but they weren't like busy. And I went ahead and ordered this ahead of time. Ordered it to go, which is really nice to have like a whole separate counter for like pickup orders. So that made things go a lot faster. But when I got there to get my food, there was a line almost to the door, and I was like, oh Lord, I gotta wait in this. Because I called ahead because, like, one, I knew I was doing a MukBang, wasn't even going to eat there. And for two, I've got my son with me. He's ready for nap time. We went to McDonald's play place this morning with my cousin and her daughter, so the kids can run around and play. And then before we left, I got him a Happy Meal, and so he ate that. I feel like I'm always like showing you guys him eating a Happy Meal or talking about it. He doesn't get them that often. I film in advance, so I know for you guys it seems like he's getting them a lot. He doesn't, but he got one today. So, Mommy needed some lunch, so call ahead for this. And they were really busy. I feel like these are smaller than I remember them being. They're still good. So, the husband and I got a gym membership on Saturday. I love it. It's a great place. They have a pool. They have like two pools, I guess. One pool is a lap pool, just for swimming laps. And I think it's like your standard size lap pool. It's pretty big. And then the other side like has like a shallower, like chest deep, not quite chest, but like, you know, about rib cage area, deep water. And so like people can hang out there, and I think they do like classes on that side. And then there's like a wall partition, and then you like walk up a ramp, and then it goes into like a baby pool, and it has like all this play equipment for babies in the water. It has like a big sprinkler system. It has like water tables, and so Levi, my son, is loving the baby pool. And then my husband and I have been swimming laps, so like one of us will stay with him while the other one does laps, and then we alternate. So it's been pretty nice. I did get a sweet tea. I don't know if I told you that or not. If you're eating lunch with me or dinner, let me know in the comments below what you're eating. So, excuse me. So, since we got the gym membership, we've gone twice. We got it on Saturday. Today's Monday. So we went Saturday and Sunday. We're going to go again tonight. And I'm challenging myself to do a 30-day swim challenge. I've seen like 2 other people do this on YouTube. One person I think only made it to 11 days because he started getting rashes. But I've been doing some research, and apparently swimming is like a great way to like burn body fat. So right now I can do, if like swimming down and back is 1 lap, I can do 4. Not in a row. I can do like 2, and then I need like a little break, and then I can do another 2. But I'm thinking next week I'll try to up it to 5 laps. Again, down and back being 1 lap, so. But if you guys want to follow that and see what happens after 30 days, you have to go check out my main channel. Link is below. By the time you see this video, it may already be up because I'm filming this in advance. And as of right now, I don't think my vlog channel has even went public yet. So that video will probably be going up about the same time as this one if you want to go see what the results were. And now I'm telling you here, I have to stick with it, right? So far, I'm really enjoying it. I've always liked swimming though, so. The other nice thing about it, and I knew that swimming is gentle on the joints, but it's been so long that I've swam for exercise, not just like fun, that I wasn't 100% sure what to expect, and I'm feeling it. Like, my whole body is sore in a good way, but my joints don't hurt, and that's awesome, because before, when I had my gym membership the last time, they didn't have a pool at that gym, and I have arthritis in my spine due to an injury, and I don't know if I want to say I have arthritis in my knee, but I injured my knee a few years ago, and it has flare-ups where it gets really, really painful. And so both of those combined made it really hard to exercise, like anything high impact. And so if I would exercise, like this past summer I took up running, and I'd do good for like a few days, and then my back would be hurting or my knee would be hurting, and I'd have to take a few days off. So that, and also, you know, just like anything at the gym, like the elliptical or running on a treadmill, some certain weights would just cause the arthritis to flare up and cause a lot of pain. And so I'd get like, you know, 2 or 3 good days in of workouts, and then like I couldn't do anything because I was hurt. And now, like, I've gotten 2 days of swimming in so far, and I'm feeling sore, like all over my body, like my shoulders, my arms, my abdomen, my leg, like everything is sore. It's like a total body workout. But my joints don't hurt, and that's awesome. So I'm really excited to see what happens in the course of 30 days. I think this Wednesday we're going to have to take off though, because my accountant wants us to come and do our taxes Wednesday evening, and like after my husband gets home, and so I think the pool is probably going to be closed by the time we get our taxes done. So that's kind of gonna split up the week, but otherwise I plan on going every single day for 30 days. Really good. Let me know what your favorite thing is from McAlister's. I don't consider myself a picky eater because I'm willing to try about anything at least once. But I'm weird when it comes to going out to eat, because going out to eat is expensive. And so I'm really weird about trying new things because I don't want to spend the money on something and not like it. So I always get the same stuff everywhere I go. But my husband is always down for trying new stuff, so I always try his. But then even if I like what he gets, the next time we go, I always get the same thing that I always get. I never change my order at places. Like currently, Taco Bell has released like their taco fries or taco french fries. And I want to try them. And I'm not against going through and just getting a box of the fries for like $1. But they have them in like a Crave box right now. And I thought about getting that for a MukBang. But then I'm like, what if I don't like anything? I don't want to waste $5 and not like anything. Which is weird because I'm not that picky of an eater and I'll probably like everything just fine. So, if you guys are wondering what all this stuff is behind me, if you didn't catch my last MukBang, I have a friend in Australia. She's also a YouTuber. Her name is Bettina. I'll leave a link to her channel below if you want to go check her out. But her and I are going to be doing a makeup swap. Not a makeup swap. Her and I are going to be doing a candy swap. So I went and bought all kinds of candy to send to her. I just haven't gotten a box yet. So I need to go do that. But it's all currently sitting behind me in bags. So if you're just wondering what all that is, it won't be there forever. It needs to get shipped to Australia. So they wrapped this mac and cheese up like they don't want nobody getting into it. Which is a good thing, seeing as it all like flipped upside down, but that took a minute to do. So, I still have my son's infant baby carrier. And I've been so back and forth on if I want to sell it or not. Like, I just don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if we should be selling it or keeping it. I've got some mac and cheese. They have such good macaroni and cheese there. Because like right now it's like 2 years old already. And this tax time with the return we're going to be getting, I've got some things that fell into collections. There's an old hospital bill. Like I said, I injured my knee. And my insurance told me that it would be covered. That I had like, I think it was like 60 days I could go to physical therapy for my knee. And that it would be covered. It would be fine. I had like a $20 copay every time I had to go to the facility, but other than that, like, no problem. So I never thought anything about it. Never got a phone call, never got anything in the mail, and then after my son was born, I called the hospital to set up payment plans for giving birth, And I asked, do I owe anything else? And they said, oh, well, I see you had $2,000 fall into collections. And they told me, like, what it was for. And I was like, what? Look, trying not to cuss here, but, like, it's a big chunk of change. And it's like, that was, like, 3 insurances ago. Like, how do I even track that down? So, we should have paid it last year. But my husband told me that when things fell into collections, that, like, they would just drop off after 7 years. So I was under the impression that, like, we didn't have to pay it. We just had to wait for it to fall off. And that meant, like, you know, I had really, really bad credit and I couldn't do anything. But after 7 years, it would just disappear. That's not the case. They can sue you. Because I had something else in collections. There was a credit card that we were ignoring because we were under the impression that after 7 years, it'd fall off. Which, if they do not come after you, suing you, then after 7 years, it will fall off. And they cannot legally sue you after 7 years. During the time frame, they can sue you for it. I got sued last summer, so we had to, thankfully we were able to just like pay it off. It was like $600. My parents helped us with some of it. They gave us like half the money. And so we just called them up, paid it, and they dropped the lawsuit against me. But after that, we were like, oh crap, we can get sued for this. So, I mean, you live and you learn, I guess. But if you have something in collections, get it taken care of. Don't ignore it. You might get lucky and it might drop off after 7 years, or you might get your ass sued. So, this tax season, whatever we get, is going on to that thing that's in collections, and hopefully we can just pay it off. And then the following year, for next year, our son will be like 2.5, and whatever we get back from taxes that time will hopefully pay off the rest of the hospital bills we have. And then we're talking about like trying to have another baby. But right now, the infant car seat is like 2 years old. So next year will be 3 years old. And then it takes 9 months to make a baby. And that's assuming like we just magically get pregnant as soon as we pay off the hospital bills. So that's pushing on 4 years. And I think they only have like a 7-year lifespan on them. And I'm kind of like back and forth, like, should we sell it and just buy a new one? Or should we store it for the next like 2 to 3 years? I don't know. Because we've had it about 2 years now, because we bought it, well, it was given to us as a gift. I got it for Mother's Day when I was pregnant. It was the car seat and stroller combo, or maybe it was my birthday. I think it was a birthday gift. So we would have gotten it in April, so it'll be officially 2 years in April. Well, we've had it 2 years in April. I'm not sure when my mother-in-law bought it. Probably, she either bought it in April or she bought it a couple months before. But it's coming up on 2 years, if it hasn't already. And then we used it for a solid year. And then it's just been sitting here in my kitchen for like the last 6 months. So, it's about 2 months old. Or 2 years old. And I'm just like, do I put a trash bag on it and stick it out in the garage and store it? Or do I go ahead and sell it and buy a new one if and when we get pregnant? So, because, like, I mean, like, I definitely want another kid. I think we've agreed, like, at least one more kid. But we're up in the air on, like, do we want to adopt, or foster, or biological? And, like, a big part of me really wants to have another biological child, because it's so fun to, like, watch our son grow, and, like, he looks like me and my husband, and it's just, like, so cool to see that. But I've also always had, like, a strong, like, want to adopt, I guess would be the way to say it. I've always had a strong feeling of wanting to adopt. And I'm not saying I wouldn't love an adopted child the same way that I love my child, my biological child, because either way they would be my kid, you know. But it's like, do we want to try for one more biological and then adopt, or do we want to say we're done with biologicals, adopt, and just be done with kids in general? I don't know. It's up in the air. And the biggest reason for saying, like, do we want to be done with biological is because where we live, if you have one C-section, and it's just, like, county ordinance for where we live in the county we live in. It's a county ordinance that if you have one C-section, all births after that have to be a C-section. And that just terrifies me. Like, my last one was an unplanned C-section. I was in labor for like 24 hours, did all the pushing and everything, and then I had to have a C-section. And I've heard that planned C-sections are, I won't say not a big deal, but I've heard that like they're really easy. That's what I've heard. But the idea of it still terrifies me. Like, I mean, that's major surgery. I've heard people say it's not, but they're like cutting your abdomen open and taking a baby out. Like, it seems pretty major to me. And I'm just like really scared to have another one. And in order to try to have like a natural birth, like even that I feel like wouldn't be natural, because to try to go that route, I would have to go to the next town over, which is like a 45-minute drive. And personally, like if we were to try to go the natural route again, I would want to do what we did this time, which is like we just waited until I naturally went into labor on my own. I did a lot of laboring at home. We got to the hospital. They thought, oh, we're going to have a baby in a couple of hours. Didn't work out like that. If you want to see my birth story, I can have a link to it down below. But didn't work out like that. Everything stalled out for whatever reason. I know the reason. They wouldn't let me up and let me walk. If they had let me up and get up and walk, it would have been totally different. It was so dumb because I had one nurse who wanted to keep me in bed, and then they did a nurse change, and my new nurse was like, yeah, you can get up and walk all you want. And then I was like right back in hard labor. So anyway, if you want to see that, link will be down below. But I even tried to go without an epidural. Like I regret my epidural. Oh my gosh. Like I would caution anyone. And I guess I'm probably like a rare story probably, because I've heard from other people who like loved their epidural, but the epidural didn't take properly for me. It gave me like this horrible hot spot in my hip that was worse than labor pains. Labor pains felt like the worst bladder infection of my life. I felt like I had to pee the entire time, which was really annoying. If you've had a bladder infection, then you know what I'm talking about. And it wasn't so much that it was painful, but it was just so annoying. Like it was so like uncomfortable. Just like off the charts uncomfortable. But it wasn't necessarily painful, but it was like driving me up the wall. It was so uncomfortable. So I finally caved after like, I don't know, like 20 some odd hours of labor. I thought they'd tell me no, and anyways, I ended up getting the epidural, and it was like an instant hot spot all in my hip, and it was like the worst pain of my life. Like, oh my gosh, if I had a reset button, I'd have been like, send me back to the labor pains. I don't want this. But yeah, if I was to do it again and be able to, I would want to try to go on natural. But the problem with that is, again, I'd have to go like 45 minutes away. So with being there would be like a 45-minute drive to the hospital. They probably want to induce me, and that's not going natural. That's being induced, even if everything else isn't natural. And I've heard that being induced is like really painful because like it just like throws you into labor. I could be wrong. I've never personally been induced. It's just what I've heard. But I'm really afraid of that, because I've heard people who have been induced and they say like, oh yeah, like labor is really, really painful, really hard, and couldn't wait to get my epidural. And like I would be so, because like my first go around, everything progressed naturally and on its own, and I feel like my body just adjusted to what was going on. And then I got the epidural and everything just went to my hip and there was no adjusting. It was just like your leg's on fire. Like so like I'm afraid that's what would happen with getting induced, is I'm afraid like my body wouldn't have the time to like naturally progress with the labor and get used to things. It would just like get thrown in. It'd be like super painful, and then I'd like get the epidural again. It'd be a hot spot again. Like, I don't know. The whole thing just freaks me out. So, I mean, I guess the other option, if we wanted to go that route, would be to wait until I was like within a week of my due date and just go move in with my mother-in-law for a week. She lives close to that hospital. But I don't know. We'll see. We got time. I'm not pregnant. Hashtag not pregnant. We got another couple of years to go. And the other thing that freaks me out about having another another pregnancy at all, is that I've heard, and even my doctor cautioned me, she's like, don't get pregnant for like 18 months after, because your uterus has to heal. And if you get pregnant too quickly after having a C-section, like your uterus, like where you got cut open, can like rip open, and then like that ends the pregnancy. It can really hurt you. Like you have to get to the hospital really quickly. It can do bad things. And so even though I'm currently like a year and a half out from pregnancy and all that stuff, and if we waited another year, like I'd be like 2.5 years, like possibly longer, just depending on how long it takes to get pregnant. Last time it took us like 11 months of trying before we got pregnant. So I would be like several years out. It still just like freaks me out that I'm like, oh my god, like what if my scar rips open and we die? Like all those morbid things. It just freaks me out. I know it's kind of gross to talk about while eating, but it's what goes through my mind. It's what's been on my mind. My cousin and I, when we were at the play place today, letting the kids like play, we were talking about babies and stuff, and she's had 2 C-sections because her first one was unplanned. Oh, that one was scary. We thought that she was going to lose her baby because she was so preemie, or he was such a preemie, because it's just like her mucus plug came out, she went into labor, there was issues, I don't know what all it was, and they had to just take him. And thankfully he's fine. He's like a healthy 5-year-old in school, everything's great, but that was like really scary. And she had like a lot of issues that happened to why she ended up having a C-section. But anyways, because of because of local ordinance, her next pregnancy had to be done via C-section. So hers was planned, everything went fine. And her husband are like, you know, talking about wanting to have another baby. Their youngest is now like a little low. She's not quite 2.5. She's like 2 and some months. And so they're talking about having another baby. And I'm like, does that not terrify you? Like, I didn't say that to her, but that's like all the thoughts that go through my mind is like, it terrifies me. And then a few months ago, one of my friends, she had to have a C-section. It was her second. And her doctor, and I don't know why you would tell a patient this, but her doctor told her before she went in for a scheduled C-section that he had lost a mother on the table who bled out during her C-section. And I'm like, no thank you. It just scares me. Like, it's so risky. And that's the first time in a long time I've heard of like a mother dying in labor, and especially from a C-section, but like obviously it can happen. I mean, you know it can, but then hearing that it has, and I feel bad for my friend. Like, I would be like shit in my pants. I'd be like, this baby's gonna stay here forever. I'm not getting on that table. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope, not gonna happen. I don't know. Anyways, this went to a weird place. So I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today and having lunch and or dinner. My lunch, possibly your dinner. Again, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you become a member of the Lunch Bunch. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!